Hey, Brandy fans, people, subscribers, I hope everybody's doing well. I love Brandy.wordpress.com. What's up, everybody? This is something interesting that has come to my attention. Apparently, I'm just jumping right in. Apparently, C-Dub, if you remember who C-Dub is the alleged brother of Brandy and Ray J, who allegedly shares the same father, and definitely looks a lot like Ray J. Well, I don't know if you read this, but the mom, apparently, of this C-Dub did an interview with a blog by the name of, I think it's Pearl's Opinion. I'll post it. The link is like right below here. But anyway, I just want to read you some excerpts from this because I find it to be very interesting that, I just don't know what to make of this. So, first thing is that, apparently, when Brandy was on Shade 45, the chick asked her, well, do you have a brother? And she said, I only have one brother, and that's Ray J. And so they're like, oh yeah, Brandy, you're lying. First of all, let me just say this before I even get into any of this. Let people decide how many relatives they have. We don't have control over that. If she feels like she only has one brother, then that's fine. There are a lot of people who do not claim, like maybe a half brother or a half sister. They don't all that. They say, oh, I have my dad has another son or another daughter, but they don't necessarily claim them. I can understand that. Me personally, I have two brothers. We don't have the same father, but we don't really play the game of like half brother, half sister because we were raised together. Now, if we weren't raised together and somebody said, oh, do you have a brother? That might depend, like on whether I would say, oh yeah, I have a brother. And I'm pretty sure that I have some half siblings out there somewhere. But anyway, there are a lot of random excerpts here, but I'm just going to try to shoot over some of these main things. So first, the interviewer says, makes it very clear. So apparently this woman by the name of Lynetta says that she can remember specifically the night at the hotel in which she was impregnated by Willie Norwood Sr. She says, she alleges that night after they did what they did that he said to her, you're going to get pregnant. So it's like he's a prophet. He prophesied into her life that she was going to get pregnant. She remembers the exact date and time. Well, she goes on to say that she never pursued any child support because she could not locate him. But earlier in the conversation, she says that she knew Willie Sr. before he got famous, and she knew him after he got famous, but she never pursued any child support. She said the only thing that she did do was try and she tried to send this C-Dub's music to Willie Sr. and ask him if maybe he can put C-Dub on, and I guess Willie wasn't going for it, right, or whatever. So let me read you some of these excerpts. First of all, she says that according to what she believes, Willie Sr. was not with Sonia at the time in which they were having this shenanigan. She says she was about 3 months pregnant when Willie and Sonia got married. So this is before Sonia's time, allegedly. That's kind of great too, unless they knew each other for like 2 months and got married, which is definitely possible. She claims that Willie Sr. has acknowledged that C-Dub is his son at a lot of different points. It's just that she's kind of pissed off that Brandy and Ray J haven't, which I don't see how why that matters. The interviewer is asking her questions like, as a mother, how do you feel when people are trying to say that your son is a bad guy? So she kind of goes on and on about that. I'm just going to read some excerpts. So The question was, when is the last time that you spoke to him as in Willie? She said, it's been a while. I spoke to him in 1998 about trying to see if he would take our son's CD to see if maybe he could try it and get him a record deal. So the interviewer asked, whenever your son tells his story, he gets a lot of flack from people, particularly from Brandy and Ray J fans. As a mother, how does that make you feel when people say that your son is a liar or that he's out for money? So she says, he is my only child. I know that he went out to let the world know that what was going on, and I heard about the good and the bad responses. I never read it because I know how the public thinks. I know that I am not lying, and I don't care, and I care about my son's feelings. He's a man now, and at times it sure ticks me off a little bit, and it ticks him off a little bit, but he gets up and keeps moving. But she goes on to say that, you know, they're optimistic. Let's see what else is in here. So she said that later on, it says, when he gave you the whole spiel about the industry, he is in Willie, did you believe that he was truly justified, or did you feel that he was just saying something else behind his reasoning for not wanting to take the CD? Because apparently Willie didn't take the CD for C-Dub. She said that she knew that he was lying because she knew that much. So what became of that? Did you contact him again to find out what happened to the CD? And she said no. Every time we would call back, no one would answer the phone, or shortly after that, the phone was disconnected. So apparently they were changing their number. What else did she say? So yeah, there's this interesting piece about Sonia. Okay, so in the realm of this situation where they have this exchange about the CDs, the mom is asked what you made of that. So she says no. Every time I would try to call back, you know, the number would get changed, whatever. So the question is, okay, so let's go back for a second. When Willie said that the world centered around Brandy and Ray J, whose world was he talking about? His world or the industry? And so the response from Lynetta, the mother, is, I can't really answer that, but I was told once by Sonia, so obviously her and Sonia have had communication, that there was no room for my son in the entertainment business until she was ready. So Sonia put that, got her together. And so the interviewer is like, until she was ready, or what does she mean by that? And so Lynetta goes on to explain, in July of 1997, Ray J had a show in Huntsville, Alabama, and that was the first time my son met his father. They went to the hotel and talked, and he came back and he called, what am I excited about? He called Willie and Ray J for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and they got along pretty well. Then she goes on to say something. I called and talked to Willie and Sonia and asked him not to come in. So, you guys got to read it. Anyway, I'm not going to read any more of this. It just kind of gets crazy. It's like, how do you know? I mean, why are people so like? All these responses are like, oh yeah, they're scandalous. Brandy's scandalous for saying that that's not her brother, and such is scandalous for not doing this, and you know, Willie's scandalous for not being a good father, and he should have paid child support, and blah 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 blah. What are your thoughts? What should happen now? What would be people? I mean, because I hate that people are connecting this situation with Brandy in any way. What does this have to do with Brandy? What's Brandy's responsibility in all of this? Should she say, okay, I admit that he is my brother, even if she doesn't feel that he is her brother? What should she do? Because it seems like a lot of people think that she's scandalous for denying that he is her actual brother. Like, what should she do? You know, what should Ray J do? What should the Norwoods do? Why would they do they have an obligation to come out to the public and say, hey, we got this other son who you know, what is my son? I mean, why would he? What is his obligation to us as fans or people who may or may not care? Read the link below and share your opinion.